All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. This week we are looking back at week 8 of marathon training. So, this week, heading into it, I knew was going to be kind of a big week. Just kind of looking at our ebbs and flows of the training cycle. This is our second week up before a big rest week the week after that. And so, kind of coming after that first up week, I was definitely a little bit tired going into this one, so I figured it's gonna be a little bit of work to get through, and it was. To be honest, I'm pretty tired right now, and I'm very much looking forward to this next week of recovery. So let's just kind of get into the week and how it went and what kind of modifications we did going through this week. So Monday, like we mentioned before, it was set up as a fartlek, something where we can go through and we can utilize more pace or more efforts than paces, which was a good thing because like I said, I was a little bit tired coming off the previous week. Big long run in the park. Got about 2 hours and 40 minutes worth of running in and almost 4,000 feet of elevation gain. So legs were definitely a little bit tired going into this one. But one of the good things is earlier in the day, my buddy calls me up. He's like, "Hey, I need to test some things out on my bike. You want to go for a little shakeout?" And I was like, "Yeah, I can do a little 30 to 40 minute, shakeout ride. Just kind of spin the legs out and see how they're feeling." And I think that helped a little bit. Just kind of shook the legs out. Nothing super intense. Heart rate never really got that high, but legs were kind of moving around, getting some blood flow going, just kind of getting the legs ready to go. And then the workout got there, and the workout was 3 sets of 4 minutes on, 1 minute off, 3 minutes on, 1 minute off, 2 minutes on, 2 minutes off. Just kind of nice, easy jog between, and hopefully trying to work through some paces. Going into it, because it's a fartlek and it was just a lot of effort-based stuff, I knew I had some wiggle room of like what I was going to do depending on how I felt. If I'm just super tired, I can cut, maybe 2 sets. If my legs are just feeling super heavy and, they're just not getting going, but I feel, good enough to go through the 3 sets, but maybe I go a little bit slower. I had a little bit of wiggle room in there. Okay. So the idea there was, it was just kind of getting the legs moving through some progressive paces and getting some higher quality running in. And it actually turned out really well doing it that way, because by the time I got out there, it was windy. It was real windy, and because of that, my paces were all over the place. But luckily afterwards, I looked at my heart rate, and I was able to kind of get some of the ranges and zones that I was really shooting for. So that was good. Tuesday, I woke up, gotten ready for a nice easy aerobic run, and went to go change, and I was just like, no, not today. It was one of those things. I was getting ready to go run, and I was like, man, I am tired. I am really, really tired. And I was like, you know what? The most beneficial thing for me to do today is to not run. Remember, the more work we do, the deeper and deeper we get into that ditch, and the more and more it's going to take to get back out of it. And so I was looking at it, I was like, I could go for an easy run today, or I could just say no, and just spend my time taking a nap or something like that instead. And that really, really helped, because coming back on Wednesday, the other big workout of the week, doing 1K repeats, I felt a lot better. That one day of rest really kind of helped things out. And I was kind of looking back at my training a little bit. It had been 10 days since the last day that I took a day off of running. So taking that day off, I think, made all the difference. My body, responded really well, and Wednesday was a really, really good workout. That workout was 6 by 1 kilometer with 2 minutes rest. The goal was to be between 5:15 and 5:20 mile pace, which is about 5K effort, hopefully right now with kind of where things are seeming. So yeah, that was a great workout. My wife was out there doing the workout. One of my buddies, Reese, was out there doing the workout with us. So it was nice, kind of having a small group out there, um, doing the workout, seeing everybody, cheering each other on, being out there for everybody. Kind of getting that team atmosphere again that I missed from college. So that was really nice to have that workout and have it be a beneficial, good workout after feeling so cruddy the day before. Um, Let me kind of go through the week. Thursday, Friday, nice, easy aerobic runs. Nothing to really write home about. It was just volume, mileage. That was about it. And then the other big workout for the week was the long run. Okay, so a long run Saturday. This is one thing I'm going to spend a little bit more time on today talking about, because we went out and we did a good chunk of the marathon course. Okay, so we started off near the starting line. We didn't do exactly the first mile, but we started off near the starting line. We kind of ran out and we did a good section heading out. So the way the course works is it starts downtown Santa Rosa, goes along a creek trail, does a big loop, and then comes back to the creek trail and then back to downtown. So we started downtown, went down the creek path, and we did a couple of reps at marathon effort. So we're looking in 2 by 3 kilometer segments, where we were just at kind of about what we're shooting for the marathon effort, and it felt great. It felt really good, felt really smooth. Actually, if anything, my wife and I were saying that we were having a hard time running slow enough, if that makes sense. So, like, majority of the long run was super slow, super conservative, just nice, easy jog, time on the feet, getting time pounding on the asphalt, seeing the course. But when we were like, okay, time to hit marathon effort, we would look down at our watches and be like, oh, that's faster than we are expecting. So for us to have that place in our training where we say, like, hey, we want to hit this effort, and we look down and it's faster than what we thought we were going to do, I think that's a good indicator of where our training is at. Okay, so we did 2 by 3K on the way out, with about a mile or so rest in between each one. Got out, did a big loop, cut a significant chunk of the middle of the course out. We're going to go out and do recon for that later on another long run later in the cycle. So we did a chunk on the creek trail, did part of the outer loop in West County, and then looped back around and did 2 more 3K efforts at marathon effort on the way back. For majority of that run, I felt really good. For majority of that run, I felt really smooth, felt really happy with where everything is at. I just realized probably about 16 miles in that I need to focus a little bit more on eating during the run and figuring out my nutrition on the run. Because physiologically, I felt really good. Everything felt super smooth. Mechanically, everything felt really good. Everything felt really smooth. The day after, I really wasn't that sore or tired or things like that. Yeah, I was a little bit tired because I had done a 2+ hour run the day before, but it wasn't like significantly like, oh man, I'm just wrecked or anything. I was like, okay, I'm a little bit tired. But what happened was during the run around mile 16, I kind of hit a wall of like, oh, okay, I am running out of energy very quickly. And so I think part of that is a couple of things. One, I drank water on the run. Could I have drinking more? Probably. We were just kind of working off of what we had. And I think on race day, having all of the different aid station out there will help because I'll be able to get water more often. So I think that's one thing that I need to work on is consuming more of that stuff. As for actual food, I had one trail butter, which, realizing in hindsight, has worked really well for a lot of these really long trail runs that I've been doing because it is very more fat based and a lot more of a slower burning fuel. Not thinking about that and be like, oh, we're doing more stuff at marathon effort, maybe a little bit higher click. I need to be replacing more of my glucose, getting more of the sugars in on those. So I think on some of the runs where we're on the roads, swapping over to like a honey stinger or goo or one of those types of gels is gonna be more beneficial, and I need to eat more of them. Because looking back, and I was like, okay, like how often should I eat? And I was like, oh, I did not eat enough, like frequently enough throughout the run to really fuel what I needed to do. So I really think, and this is why we do these sort of things along the way. We test things out, through training so that on race day we know what's going on, we feel confident, and we're ready to go. So I feel very confident on a number of things that happened this week of training. You know, the eating, that's a piece that I am going to try and start focusing on and working on a little bit more, and figuring out what works well, what doesn't. I've got a couple of different gels that I like. I need to see which ones I feel like really work well and mesh well with my body through the long run and later stages, because different people can handle a lot more early in a run. You can usually handle a little bit fewer things later in the run, and seeing what your body can handle in each situation is big, and that takes a lot of trial and error. It's not what is the best thing, it's what is the best thing for you. So that's really kind of the only thing that came out of this long run. Other than that, I feel great. I feel really excited with where training is at. I just feel really tired, because it was a big week of training. This was my heaviest week of mileage. This was the second big week up, but that's kind of how things were scheduled. So hopefully this next rest week really kind of lets my body recover, recoup, absorb a lot of the training that I've been doing, and hopefully I'm feeling better going into the next training loop. And then Sunday was a nice easy run. I really didn't do much. It was the 4th of July. I wanted to go out and get a couple miles in. I took Tuesday off, so I was like, okay, Sunday was supposed to be an easy rest day, but I took Tuesday off, so I'll go ahead and just do a little bit. It didn't need to be a lot. Just kind of shake the legs out, especially after a big long run on the day before. So okay, so that's the week that was. Let's start kind of breaking things down. The good. I'm feeling really good. The knee, I think, is kind of behind us at this point. I think training is where it needs to be, even though I keep saying right now, like, man, I'm really tired right now. It's where it should be. It's where the training cycle is at this point. Paces are feeling good, legs are feeling good, mechanically I feel good. I'm just tired. And that's it. I think a lot of the issues that I was having last week about not eating enough, I think I've kind of worked through some of that stuff. I've done some cool stuff with some snacks that I've made in the kitchen, some rice cake stuff, some oatmeal bars, some different things of those sorts. So I think the food thing is going well. So yeah, overall, I'm really happy with where training is at. The bad, like I said, really the only bad thing that happened was I hit that wall on the long run, and that's just because I still need to figure out what works well for me fueling wise for that longer effort. And I think that's one of the reasons that I had a bad experience last time I attempted the marathon, was because I wasn't fueling well enough. And so I think over the next 6-7 weeks as we approach the marathon here, that's gonna be one of my big things, is just getting that dialed in, figuring out how often do I need to have a gel, how often or what types of gels do I have, things of those sorts. How much water do I need to have with each of them? So and then big goal for next week, like I keep saying, it's recovering. It is, I need to recover, I need to feel good, I need to not feel like I have to hit a certain mileage next week. I need to not feel like I need to press any runs. I need to feel like I don't need to do more than what's on the training block. Okay. Making sure that I'm getting plenty of rest, make sure I'm getting plenty of food, hydrating well, everything that I can to recover. That's what next week is all about. So, all right, that's all I got for this week. Hopefully it was a nice little look back at this week of training. So until next time, happy running. Talk to you guys later. Bye.